Hi guys, welcome to another vlog. This one I'm just going to be doing on the history of the sort of after hours scare experiences of Alton Towers Scarefest. So my first ever experience of Scarefest at Alton Towers was in 2012, and we decided that we was going to do the after hours thing at night. And yeah, basically it was they would let these scarecrows out, so I'm pretty sure you just went to your room and then like this story just unfold. Basically they get like the sheriff came in to start with, and he was like telling you basically that Mary, the wife or whatever, she was like crazy, and like she had these scarecrows that she kept locked away and they came to life, and yeah, it was all very theatrical, and yeah, it was so well done. Like the rooms were all like themed like Texasy sort of theme, and the actors were so good. It was, the build up of it was just engulfed you. It was just absolutely amazing. It was such a good year to start to go. I can't recommend it enough. It was absolutely amazing, and this is definitely something they're lacking now at Scarefest. To me, when we went in 2012, that was what made Scarefest. It was kind of, the park was good, but at the end of the whole experience of 2012, it was the scare room that was Scarefest. That's what made it. It was just completely blew everything else out of the water, and the whole experience of it, unlike, I'd never done anything like that before, and it just was so well done. And yeah, it was definitely a really good year for Scarefest in 2012.
What you should do is all shut your eyes and just wait for them to come in, just shoot yourself in the mouth. Shut your eyes, Bob. Y'all didn't listen to me right now, goddamn it! I've been lying, goddamn it! Nobody comes here! Goddamn it, I didn't come here! Calm down! He got a drink, I'm sorry. Goddamn, sir, calm down! Just calm down! You're a mess of a man! Come on, stand up! Stand up! Just tell everybody what the hell off me! Alright! Just tell everybody what you told me real quick and let's go! Come on! Tell them!
I don't know if y'all know, but last year there was an infection.
Yeah.
A lot of people died. And I've been pretending tonight that everything's been okay.
But everything is not!
Okay.
No, it's not okay.
It's not been okay.
It's not okay.
Not been okay.
It's not okay. You right there, Sheriff?
What
What are we going to do?
I don't know what we're going to do. We sure as hell cannot stay here.
It's alright. Go on.
We gotta go! We're gonna go? We gotta go right now.
We're going to get out right now. Let's go then. Come on. Let's get out. When you get out, everyone pack up your things real quick. Let's get out. Come on. John, take some business with you. Get out.
Put that on.
You put that on. Put your shoes on, man. Come on. Let's get out. Let's get out. Let's go. Let's go. We got everything?
You ready now? Put that on.
Back it, ma'am. I got an idea, Sheriff. I know Mary took over one of them PAs.
No. Listen to me.
Listen to me. If we told Mary, listen to me, boy. Mary will get everyone out real quick.
There's something very important that y'all need to know about Mary.
Oh my Lord, Mary, you scared everybody. You don't time to go like that. Come on now. I'm scared. There's something going on. The sheriff, I think he's had one too many drinks, but he thinks something's going on in the motel here. He thinks like last year it's going to happen again. So we've been running around telling everybody, get out.
Shut up, Jeremy.
Put your shoes on, man. Come on, let's get out. Let's go real quick. Come on.
Oh, wow. Really? The sheriff sure does know how to run his mouth. Sheriff,
What?
I suggest take Jamie and you get out there!
You're the goddamn devil.
Come on, let's go. We need to get John and the guys. Come on. Let's get out. What about Mary?
You four.
Mary gotta come.
Look at Mary and ask her why you can't come.
Mary,
with
come
us.
on.
Don't you worry about that.
She's pissed.
I'll make sure they don't bother you again. You have enough nut now.
I got real. I love you.
With the actors coming in and out of your room, they did a really good trick sometimes where like they'd, because it was dark in the room and you couldn't really, where the beds were positioned, you couldn't really see around the corner, so you couldn't really see the door, you just saw the light every time they opened it and closed it. Like they'd do like their theatrical bit, they'd go to walk out, but they wouldn't actually walk out, they'd just sort of dart, they'd open the door as if they were going out, and then they'd dart in the bathroom, and then they would just wait in there for ages. I mean, I think we had one in there, we must have been waiting in there sort of 25 minutes, just waiting for one of us to go to the bathroom, and then they'd jump out, and it was absolutely, it was brilliant, it was so well done. It was the little things like that that really made that experience so much better.
No way. Yeah, I'm just going to do it.
Oh, hello there.
Hi, come on in, come on in.
All right, I'll come in.
What's going on there?
There we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. Just pop this thing down there. Are you okay, everybody?
It made it so that you was too scared to go to the toilet in case there was someone hiding in there. And then when you managed, they did pluck up the courage and push someone into the bathroom to, check if it was safe. It was like really quick before someone else come in and it started all over again.
Ulterior motive for coming here. I've never seen the view from no windows.
Yes,
You wouldn't
go
mind?
for it. Go for
Hey,
it.
they say something spectacular from here.
Yeah,
You don't mind? Yeah. Don't mind if I just look over you, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, out here. Oh, I see that. Whoa, whoa.
It's moving.
No, that's where I left it. I left it there. I did leave it there. Sorry, she's trying to distract me. I'm not seeing how No, that has moved. Did you just move that thing? I think you did. I can stand that thing up. I mean, look at that. That's no good. You can't do that to a man's scarecrow. Especially, I have to say she's melted into that bed. I have never seen somebody so almost completely disappear in a bed as this. There's only a head left. She's gone into a puddle, if I may. Okay, well...
At the end of this one as well, it finishes, I think it finished about 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Basically, the scarecrows come in and they just completely rip apart the room. Like, they chuck you off the bed, your bedding gets thrown everywhere, your mattress gets thrown across the room. It's just absolute madness. And it was brilliant. It was so good. Yeah, that really made that Scarefest absolutely amazing. So 2013, they brought the scare rooms back, and this time it was based on the wedding of Mary Miller and Caleb Winkles. So basically, for this one, I was on crutches and mostly in a wheelchair for this because I'd broken my leg, but I still went and still had a really good time. The staff were really good, really compensating for it. They still give me the experience without sort of shaking me about too much to disturb my leg. So basically they took you outside, sort of in front of the Alton Towers Hotel, slightly off to the right, in like a wooded area. They'd like put a little gazebo up, and they like put some theming and that around it. It had the scarecrows in it again. We didn't actually see the scarecrows to start with. It was all about the wedding, and like you had like they had the ceremony, and then they had drinks and a barbecue and things like that, and you had food, and it was really good. And like the actors were like walking amongst the crowd and get involved and get the people involved. And yeah, it was a really good atmosphere. And you know, even though I was on crutches and stuff, I couldn't really walk around and do a lot. I still felt really involved, and it was really good. Really enjoyed my time. Yeah, it was just growing on the scare room experience, really. It was just expanding it and making it a bit different, and it really worked really well. Then after you'd done they'd done the bit outside, and it was absolutely freezing. But yeah, you did the bit outside, and then you went back in the hotel, and that's when you went into your rooms. You did go into the rooms beforehand, and I always remember like the rooms were all themed, but after we'd been out for the food and come back in, we went in the bathroom, and they'd written on the wall, on the mirror, in like blood, and it was so good. It was so unexpected, and everything was done really well, and like that they had control of the lights on and off, and it was absolutely fantastic. Another knockout year for Alton Towers Scarefest with the scare rooms.
A truly good woman. And she's marrying Caleb. You're marrying Caleb. You're not. Okay, well, as you can all tell, I'm not one for speech this line, so I'm going to keep this next bit short. As we say here in Altonville, less of the boil and more of the hog. On with the repast. Let's all get on our feet and get some food. Don't make me ask again. Give me a hallelujah! Hallelujah! That's good. Will you please welcome the lovely bride-to-be, Miss Mary Miller! To witness the formal joining in the legal state of matrimony for Caleb and Mary, according and under the authority given by the state of Alabama. The state of matrimony is an honorable tradition of devotion and some little sacrifice. Marriage is not to be entered upon thoughtlessly or irresponsibly. It is by nature a state of giving rather than taking, of offering rather than receiving. It is into this high and serious state that these two persons desire.
Oh my God! This cannot be allowed to go on! This cannot be allowed to go on! Oh my God! Oh my God! This little doohickey right here might just get through. There you go. This whole thing could have come crashing down on your head and ended in tragedy. Terrible, that, isn't it, Missy?
Take this opportunity to wish my good friend Caleb Winkle and his lovely wife Mary Winkle all the best. Now, we have prepared a little something to mark this beautiful occasion.
We are going to arrange the act the very night you two met, and to make it extra special, I shall play you, Caleb. Yeah. Woo!
And I should play you, Mary. Right, here we go. We must get into character.
I'll announce
Now, 2014 bought the sleepover in the Towers. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get to this event, so I'm not really going to comment on something that I didn't go and see or experience. But I heard it was really good. yeah, that's all I can say on it really, I'm afraid. I did return for 2015, which was really good. It was different. That was when they dropped the scare rooms completely, and they went to, that was when Subspecies first came on, and they did the, after the park closed, they did the Subspecies like after hours event, which was like an escape room, where it was the same set as the Subspecies maze, except there was a lot more involved in it. It was like you had your escape room, you had to complete certain tasks in order to either get out or, you know, get consumed by the swamps or whatever they are, the sewers. Yeah, we managed to complete our event. It was so good. It was very hands-on. It was, yeah, the actors were like, you know, like grabbing you by the throat and shoving you in. That was what you wanted. It was so good. It was so well done, and I was really shocked when they didn't bring it back for another year. Yeah, I think this year was the simple case of you don't know what you've got until it's gone. So you didn't appreciate how good the scare. Well, you did. I knew the scare rooms were good, but you really appreciate that something was definitely starting to miss from Alton Towers when they got rid of the scare rooms. Having the after hours subspecies experience really helped, because you still had something to look forward to, like towards the end of the day, which is what you were looking forward to for the whole day when you were there, and it was the highlight of the event. So it was still good that they did the after hours subspecies, and it's something they definitely need to bring back, or consider bringing back something like that again. The Subspecies 2015 was the last time they did any after hours thing, which is sad, and I think that it's definitely taken something away from the Scarefest experience at Alton Towers. That to me was what I fell in love with when I started going to Scarefest, and that is what it was. And when it's not there, you really do miss it, and you know, appreciate that is what you're willing to pay the extra money for. You know, it was expensive, but paid it happily, and I'd happily pay it again, because the experience was so good. And if you haven't done it, you really have missed out on something fantastic. I hope that Alton Towers bring it back. I don't know if it's just because they haven't been able to afford to, or they haven't seen the return from it that they was hoping for, but it's more than just that. It's the experience. It is Scarefest. So that is how I've known it from the start. And I think that because 2012 was such a good year for Scarefest, like that after the scare rooms was just absolutely amazing. It set the bar really high for me for Scarefest, and I mean 2012 and 2013 were the best years. They were. I mean, when I went back for the Subspecies experience, that just blew my mind again, because that was something completely different, and yeah, it just took me by surprise, and it was so good. I got so involved in it, and it was just so brilliantly put together that you sort of didn't mind there wasn't the scare room, because it still gave you something to look forward to at the end of the day, and it was so immersive and just so well put together that it's such a shame Alton Towers have stopped doing things like this. I can't express to them enough, like, all the feedback I leave them, and I keep, you know, every time I do a survey for on whatever, every time I visit the park, it's like I'm always putting in there like, bring back the scare rooms, or bring back Subspecies after hours, because it is a massive part of Alton Towers Scarefest. It's the main part for me, and it was so good that it's a shame not to do it anymore. Really disappointing. But I will still continue to go to Scarefest, and it is still my favourite time of the year, and I hope all you lot enjoy it too, and keep going and keep supporting the parks. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment below if you want me to do some more of these sort of things. I have got quite a bit more footage from the past scare rooms and things like that, so I could do videos of them like separately if people want me to. Let me know down below, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.